Good morning, my first graders. It's Wednesday, and today our story is one we've never read before, Suki's Kimono. On Google Classroom, I have left a cool video about Japan because there's lots of different vocabulary words in this story and things that we've never heard about, because in our culture here in the United States, we don't have things like they do in Japan. So it's fun to learn about different cultures. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you enjoyed this story about Suki. And we're gonna be describing Suki. We can describe how she looks, how she feels. You can think about her behaviors and what the story tells us about her. That's one of my favorite things to do with a story, is to talk about the characters. Because I love people, I love you guys. I could describe each one of you. We should practice doing that tomorrow on our live lesson. Describing our friends and saying good things to fill their bucket. But Suki's a fun character because she doesn't care what people think. Look at her. She's dressed in a kimono. And that goes along with our title too, doesn't it? Suki's Kimono. She loves to wear her clothes that her grandma gave her. And she doesn't call her grandma Grandma or Nana or Gaga like we do here in America. She calls her grandma Obachin. I had to look up the word, Obachin. I hope I'm saying that correctly, how Suki would say it. So we see her kimono, and she wants to wear this to school. The other kids aren't wearing kimonos to school, but Suki doesn't care. I'm thinking that she's already brave and confident, good qualities to have, and not worried about what other people might say. But we'll see in the story that her sisters are a little embarrassed because they're older and they wear American clothes to school. But Suki wants to wear her kimono and her little wooden clogs that they wear in her culture in Japan, where her Obachin, her grandma, came from, and her grandma gave her this outfit. Her wooden clogs are called geta. And again, I hope I'm saying that correctly. But these would be hard to wear, and you'll see in the story, like they're high, kind of like our high heels, girls, that we like to wear. But she wears them with pride, and you'll see in the story that she'll talk to her friends about the things that she eats and the things that they wear in their culture. So I hope you enjoy this story. And your job today is going to be to write one sentence or two sentences even about Suki, and take a picture of them and send them here on my phone, or you can send them to Class Dojo. That has a way to send it, or you can send it to my email. I love how most of you have been doing that, and that just brings me so much joy because I love seeing your work and how hard you work, and I'm so proud of you first graders. Glad you're mine and Miss Orlando's. Suki's Kimono. This story was written by Shuri Yogakaka. Stephanie Jarish is the illustrator. Suki's Kimono. Okay, so there's her Obachin, and there's Suki. On the first day of school, Suki wanted to wear her kimono. Her sisters did not approve. "You can't wear that," said Mari. "People will think you're weird." "You can't wear that," said Yumi. "Everyone will laugh and no one will play with you." "You need something new, Suki. You need something cool." See how her sisters are dressed? And there's Suki. But Suki shook her head. She didn't care for new. She didn't care for cool. She wanted to wear her favorite thing. And her favorite thing was her kimono. Suki's Obachin had given her the kimono. The first time Suki wore it, her Obachin took her to a street festival where they slurped bowls of slippery, cold somen noodles and shared a cone of crunchy shaved ice topped with sweet red bean sauce. So I'm thinking that this is like oodles of noodles. Who's tried that before? My kids still love them, and they're teenagers. So I'm thinking that's what they enjoyed. And you can see in the pot, he's cooking it. And who wants sweet red bean sauce on their ice cream? Never tried that before. So look, this is their culture too. Look what they do. They make all these cool kites, and they have like a festival. They're called paper lanterns. Under strings of paper lanterns, Suki joined her obachan in a circle dance. She followed her and copied her movements, trying to be as light and as graceful. She watched the other women and children who danced, especially those who were dressed in cotton kimonos like her. Later, Suki was sat so close to the stage that when the taco drummers performed, bum, 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 she felt like she'd swallowed a ball of thunder, and her whole insides quaked and quivered. Before they left the festival, Suki and her obachan stopped at a souvenir stand. There were many things to choose from, but her obachan found the prettiest thing of all. Don't you just love shopping with your grandma when she buys you things? Suki got a handkerchief of pale pink linen, decorated with tiny maple leaves and a cherry blossom. When she gave it to Suki, she said, "This will help you remember this day." Now it was time for school. Mother checked Suki's obi one last time and took a picture of Mari. Now her obi, we haven't talked about that. That is going to be this sash that she ties really tight around her middle, and it's part of her special outfit. Goes with her kimono. Then as she watched, the three sisters made their way down to the block to their school. Mari and Yumi stayed several paces ahead of Suki and pretended they didn't know her. Oh. Sisters can be like that sometimes, huh? But Suki didn't mind. She turned and waved to her mother before she clip-clopped along in her shiny red geta, feeling very pleased in her fan-patterned blue kimono. Once in a while, Suki would lift her arms and let the butterfly sleeves flutter in the breeze. It made her feel like she'd grown her own set of wings. I think all of us should do that today. Go outside and let the breeze take our sleeves of our arms, of our clothes. We can feel like we're flying. Makes me want to do that. When they reached the school, Mari and Yumi hurried across the yard to the group of friends. Suki stopped and looked around. Some of the children turned and stared at her, and others giggled and pointed at her kimono. But Suki ignored them. She took a seat on a swing to wait for the bell, and a girl dressed in overalls, just like a pair Suki had at home, sat on the swing beside her. "Hi, Suki," said the girl. "Hi, Penny," said Suki. I'm wondering, as a reader, if this friend is going to make her feel better, like Mina made our Dilly feel better yesterday in our story. I'm wondering. "How come you're dressed so funny?" Penny asked. "Where did you get those shoes?" Suki lifted her feet off the sand and wiggled her toes. "I'm not dressed funny," she said. "My grandma gave me these shoes." Suki started pumping her legs. After a moment, Penny did the same, and soon they were both swinging as fast as they could go. Swish, swish, up and up. So her friend really didn't say something to make her feel better, but look, Suki was upset at first, but did she let it bother her? No. They just started swinging together, and I see smiles on both of their faces. When the bell rang, Suki and Penny jumped off their swings and ran to the gym for the first day assembly. Once they were finally taken to their new classroom, Suki chose a desk near the window. Penny chose a desk next to Suki. As they waited for everyone to find a seat, two boys in front of Suki turned and snickered behind their hands. One of the boys reached over and snatched at Suki's sleeve. "Look at this, she's a bat." Page doesn't want to turn. Here we go. Suki felt her cheeks burn. Can you relate to that? When we've been embarrassed, our face turns red, and we feel funny in our tummy. But she did not respond. Instead, she concentrated on sitting up straight and tall, the way her obachan always did. It was easy to do with an obi wrapped snug around her middle. Her obi was golden yellow, and in its folds Suki had tucked away her pale pink handkerchief. "Welcome to the first grade," said the teacher. "My name is Miss Paggio." She smiled. "Let's introduce ourselves and tell everyone what we did this summer." Here's your teacher. When it was her turn to speak, Suki stood up and told the teacher her name. "Hello, Suki," said Miss Paggio. "What did you do this summer?" "My grandma visited us," she said, straightening her sleeves. "She brought me my kimono and my geta." Suki raised her foot to show the teacher her wooden clog. Somewhere in the classroom, someone laughed, but Suki took a deep breath and continued. "The best thing was that she took me to a festival, and there were dancing girls dressed just like me, and they danced like this," and she took a few steps and swayed her arms sideways. And look at our teacher smiling. Because we love you guys just like you are. And we're all different, and that makes us super special. "Look, now she's dancing," someone said. But Suki didn't hear. She hummed the music she remembered hearing at the festival. She remembered how it felt to dance barefoot in the open air on fresh-cut grass that tickled her toes. She tried to picture the other dancers, how they moved forward in a circle with the rhythm of the music, how they stamped their feet, first right, then left, swung their arms first up, then down, how they stepped back and back and back, then clapped. When Suki couldn't remember the next step, she just made it up, just to keep dancing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, stop. When she finished, the room seemed very quiet. Everyone was watching her. Suki sat down wondering if she was in trouble. Okay, right now as a reader, I'm predicting, what is going to happen next? How is the story going to end? Is she in trouble? Are the kids going to laugh? Or are they going to be happy? I'm wondering, and look, all of their faces make me wonder. I can't wait to turn the page and find out what's going to happen. Wait till you see. But Miss Paggio said, "That was wonderful, Suki," and she started to clap. That makes me so happy. Then so did Penny. Penny's a good friend. We knew she was, wasn't she? And after a moment, so did the entire class. Oh, and look at the look on Suki's face. After school, as the three sisters walked home together, Mari and Yumi grumbled about their first day. "No one even noticed my sweater." "My new sweater," said Mari. "No one even noticed my cool shoes," said Yumi. But Suki just smiled. As she clip-clopped along behind them, Suki pulled out the pale pink handkerchief from her obi and held it over her head to catch the wind. And in her blue cotton kimono and in her shiny red geta, Suki danced all the way home. I hope you have a day just like Suki. I hope you find something fun to do and to dance. So if I was going to describe Suki, she is happy with who she is. She, like we said, she is brave, she is confident. She is proud of her culture. She is proud of her kimono and her geta. She loves her family. We could write lots of different things about Suki, so I can't wait to see what your thoughts are. So I'm going to do a little bit of word work, and then I'm going to wish you a wonderful day. Let's see, so it's Wednesday, so let's see what they have for today. They've got some rhyming. They've got which word rhymes with the teacher? That's me. Well, I will say 2 words, and you get to respond with the word that rhymes. Okay? So here's an example. Which word rhymes with table? Is it ticket or cable? Right, it's cable, cable, table. So now we're going to do the same thing with these words. Jacket. Which word rhymes with jacket? Is it bracket or jump? Bracket, jacket, bracket, rhyme. They end alike. We're listening to that ending part of the word. How about lighter? Which one rhymes with lighter? Label or brighter? Lighter, brighter. You got it. Dollar. I bet you're already thinking of what could rhyme with dollar. Is it collar or danger? Dollar, collar. Handle. Handle metal, handle candle. Which one rhymes? Handle, candle. Good rhyming, guys. Okay, these we're going to listen to see which sound they begin with. So I'm going to say 2 words. I want you to repeat the words and then tell me what sound they begin with. When you say the words, your mouth makes a certain sound at the beginning, and you can tell what sound they begin with. You can also, that's a good way to sound if they begin the same. Public, parent, both begin with P. P. Giant, gentle, J. Yes, younger. That's a tricky one. It's a Y. I'm thinking of the word yellow. Also begins like that. And yo-yo. That's the Y sound. Buffalo, better. Both begin with B. Respect, river. You're right. Okay, now we want to clap syllables. We're going to count the number of syllables in these words. Okay, ready? Honestly. Ready? We're going to clap it. Honestly. How many syllables in that word? I could also do it like this. Honestly. 3. Okay, how about famous? Famous. Show me with your fingers. 2. Volunteer. Volunteer. 3. Planet. Planet. 2 syllables in that word. Excuse me. Respectful. Respectful. 3. Forever. 3. Okay, we have one more activity. This time they want us to listen to the ending sound in the word, the last sound we hear. Okay, so the word is midnight. Repeat. You say it. Midnight. What's the last sound your mouth says? T. You're right. Become. You say it. Become. What is my mouth doing? Oh, it's an M. Kindness. You're right. It's an S. Overlook. The last sound we hear is a K, like Kinsey. K. Proceed. D. I hear a D at the end. Ribbon. N like Nariah. And myself. My mouth is making a F, like F says. All right, you guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. And remind me to describe each of you. See if you guys can guess who I'm describing. That would be a fun activity. Mwah, take care.